Good day, dearest. I had my shit on mute, so I didn't even hear when it told me to record. I don't think that makes a difference in the mic, though. Welcome to your session. I like to start off randomly now. I've been doing this is it going on my 4th year now? Because my awakening was the first year. It's been 5 years since the awakening. I dived right into this shit, huh? I was about to not do this because I felt like I looked crazy as hell, but the human, you don't care about that shit. You care about the info. And the info gonna come out clean because, and I look like this because I just got clean. My hair was straightened and then I got in the shower. Whatever. I'm so happy that you and I are familiar with one another and I can just dive into these sessions like that. And hopefully seeing me and all my little quirks makes you feel better about what the fuck you going through. Girl, you're going through it. So I'm actually gonna start because I've been tapped in since we started. I was just like, I love you, sis, but I can't let you drag me in with you. I felt the vibration. I felt the down. I felt the ooh. Now you need to look at the full moon in Aries video I just did. Whatever house you have Aries in, that's about to get the work right. But it's already starting. The amount of suffering, because that's sort of kind of what this moon is bringing up. That's what I was doing the video for, because a lot of people are going to be dealing with a lot of very uncomfortable emotions that are not even particularly stemming from right now. They could be past life wounds that are re-triggered by this life. They could be childhood wounds, but there's just going to be a lot of feelings that overwhelm people. And I really wanted to do a video just in case anybody has any issues and starts to backslide to addictions or any of that negative stuff that is, of course, what the bad guys want. Can't let them win. We almost at the end. That's what's so important about all of this stuff right now. This is judgment season. Now, between you and I, whoever else see this video, Judgment Day. Judgment Day is one. It is one day. It is one big event that occurs that changes our timeline going forward. Judgment Day is a day that an event occurs that makes us all start working together. Nothing will be as we know it now. And I'm not saying that it's going to be as dramatic as, what is that, The Handmaid's Tale? Damn. When I said that, that felt like a lie. America's going to hell. that's just sort of the ping I got. But they're going to use the events of Judgment Day, what will possibly be known as Judgment Day down here. It's definitely going to be known as Judgment Day above and below. And in the future, when there are other religious books or historical material about things that occurred, it will be Judgment Day. But the powers that be are going to use this to pivot them into a new governmental system, which we've all heard about because it's in every single religious book, which is important because they're just rule books, just timelines. Full disclosure is the rule. If you want to get away with doing something evil, you have to alert the people you're about to do it to, and they have to still Stevie Wonder that shit. Plausible deniability. Some shit like that. If they told you and you chose to ignore it, then they don't get penalized karmically. Damn. So they have been telling us for the last 3 years that Russia is firing up Satan too. That is why everything that's going on around this full moon is important. You are releasing anything that is going to stop you from growing the roots that you need to prepare for what is coming up going forward. So you needed to know that for some reason. What is the theme of Kiran's session this evening? What is the theme? I know we're getting into roots work you had me do for your root. Technically, that's what this ended up being because it was your root, your foundation, your solidity and your sense of self. Yeah, it was your solidity and your sense of self. I didn't say this, by the way. These are these fucking cards, okay? I love you. I wouldn't use this term, but desperation is the theme that came up, and I'm going to set that up there. Desperation to be done with the whole process of seeking your other party. It wasn't allowing you to make the best decisions. Wanting to be done made you compromise certain aspects of self for relationships. You settled. You settled. I've been looking for eloquent ways to say this shit. So getting your money back, getting your flow back, getting your own frequency back, because prosperity is down here. This is Ezruli Dantor. Okay, this is the Haitian deity Loa. Did I say that right? I learned everything I could about all the religions. So I knew I wasn't picking one non-denominational, but I felt like when I first started my awakening, if I learned everything I could about all the religions, I would be able to look at the commonalities between them and figure out what was the actual truth. And that's exactly what happened. There's this book called the Religions Book, and it breaks down all the beliefs. That was one of the first ones I had, got the ship from the library. And now I give it out to other people as a gift when they're starting their thing. But prosperity, your money has been held up. Your progress has been held up. This situation was just a distraction, right? And I know you're like, what do you mean distraction? This is curiosity. This is trickery. It was blocking your determination to go after your career goals. Take a second for me. Think about how much stuff that you wanted to get done versus what you've actually got done since you've gotten back into this relationship. How has your energy flow been? How have you been, or how dedicated have you been to the task that you had set up for yourself before this person came back into your energy field? So that's where we're gonna start. I'm actually gonna put the prosperity up. Just know that that's the end result for why this is all happening. I think I just saw you write my phone and said, I think this was a test, and I stopped because I didn't want to see what you were writing. But the test is about self, which is another reason why this had to be done during the full moon in Aries. Self. What are you seeking outside of self? What are you seeking outside of self that made you accept less than you deserve? All this revelation, all this discomfort, what it's going to free up in your energy is determination. Suddenly you're going to want to finish those projects. Suddenly you're going to have ideas for new projects. It's like a breath of fresh air is going to be re-entered into you because the wind got knocked out of you. Ooh. What I'm picturing is like you in a shark cage and you have an oxygen tank, and the person next to you didn't listen to your directions. You told them how to use the oxygen and all that, and that person just greedily just or sucked up all their oxygen while you're down there with the sharks, and then you see them panicking over there. And so you make the decision to give them some of your oxygen so they survive, and you're supposed to be passing the mass back and forth, but this person is just as greedy with the oxygen you're sharing with them as the oxygen they had for themselves. That's the energy that the relationship was given off. So, ew, first and foremost. So, what lesson were you learning from this relationship? Like, where do I want to go with this? Got it. What lesson is Kiran learning from her relationship with Matt? What lesson is she learning? Matt. Damn. I know I know you said your guides were on your ass. How long have you not been listening to them, baby? You made me back up. Cause like, I'm sort of, that's my energy. Um, if I realize that you are doing something to harm yourself, I gotta bring that down a little bit and then keep it 100 with you. But I don't never like to be intense. What I am sensing here is that you have been given every indication, every sign. You are not a slow woman. You are not short-sighted, but you have purposely allowed yourself to direct your own chaos. You have put yourself into a cloud, a bubble. And what it feels like is you can see, but you put on like Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles glasses with like black tape over them so you couldn't see. Like, hold on, what? No, this is not it. Because you didn't want to give up what you thought was it. Every card I just got about what was the lesson here. Grim Reaper. Dead end. Not enough chemistry to carry on. Replaying outdated thinking. Anytime you get into a relationship where you are willing to compromise yourself for that person, this lesson is going to come up. Self-sabotage is the lesson. Confidence, ego stuff. So what was this guy giving you that you didn't feel like you could give yourself? And this is gonna say recurrent issue. When is the last time you were like single, like actually single and not wanting a relationship? When is the last time you were happily single? Is what's coming through here. Your guys have really been like on your shit, because you were, yeah, the gaps in between. There was no time for like, not even just self-reflection is what I'm getting, because there was self-reflection, self-appreciation. You tear yourself up, but you don't take the time to build yourself back up. So when you get in these relationships, at some level, you are expecting this person to help build up some parts of you, and they never do that because you are learning to, this is your Phoenix light, baby. Rising from your ashes. Did you watch X-Men? Do you remember the Phoenix? The only people she needed were the people to hold her back from losing her shit when it came to her own power. So you've been keeping people around that are dimming your power. Why? Why is that? Oh my goodness. Now we're going somewhere else. Let's do this. Let's do this, girl, because this became a shadow reading. Your guys wanted to talk to you. This was supposed to be telling you what the outcome of the work was going to be, right? The outcome of the work is you're free. You already, like, it's already started. It's already been done because it wasn't meant to be. It was not. That was a lesson. That was a long form lesson. So what is the message you guys want? Come on, tonight, right now. What is the message that you guys want her to know right now? A song about taking a look in the mirror just popped in my head. I don't even know that fucking song. This is like some old 60s shit. That's a new skill. But forcing you to look at yourself. Like, what was this all for? Forcing you to look at yourself, forcing you to appreciate yourself. What made being with him and taking his shit worth more than you being by yourself and being happy with what you have or building what you have? To yourself would like to say, I wish I had treated you better. That's why this had to be done during the moon in Aries. This was about your relationship with self. 100%. This was a reflection thing. So if you felt like that was your twin and that was a reflection, he was reflecting back to you what still needed to heal. This wasn't the highest level twin, the highest level match available, because quite honestly, there was still some blockages. There are still some blockages internally, which is great because you can handle internal stuff, right? It's when it's outside stuff that's blocking you that's annoying. But no, there are still some internal blockages in that root chakra. Watch that video I just posted, girl. It's like 50 minutes long. Some good shit. So what are the energies still blocking Kiran from lining up with her actual mate? What are the energies or patterns still blocking her from her actual mate? When you see a fire, you just gotta touch it. When you see a fire, you gotta touch it. And then when you get burnt, you're not really good at saying anything about it. So you keep that all in. So how much stuff do you feel like you're still making up for? What were you making up to him in this relationship? Remember when I said you were just directing your own chaos? This is calling the storm. A knowing better, but a not wanting to do better. But this really just feels like you're tired of the cycles. But baby, what I am getting here is you want to exit the game. You want out. You want to ascend. You want to ascend with your mate, right? That means that you have to rapid cycle through all the karma from every life you had here. That's not always a fast process. You've already gone through 2 North Node gates. Imagine you're like on the Florida Turnpike. You had to get you already passed 2 exits. You've risen your vibration, but I don't think you really know how low down you were. Maybe you have a feeling internally. Maybe you've already been there in this life, but him and your ex-husband were a representation of how oppressed you have been for a long time. When the right person comes along, this person will be, it'll make you uncomfortable. This person is going to fire you up, going to gas you up. And you're going to be like, holy shit. Because you've only had guys that gas you up just to pull the plug on the gas, to make you think they were giving you some of their oxygen tank when they weren't. They had nothing in their oxygen tank. It's like they were trying to hand you their tank after they had sucked up yours, like knowing there was nothing in it. Empty boxes. That's a Tamar Braxton song you should hear. Empty boxes. There was never anything in there. It was up for you to learn their value, to learn your skills, to learn to trust yourself, your intuition without knowing why, without an understanding of the reason. Sometimes the reason will come to you when you trust yourself. It's like you're tuning your gift of prophecy, knowing how something is going to go before it goes. And that only comes when you jump out on faith and do what you need to ahead of time. Just like this right now, you did what you needed to by cutting it off with him. Now watch how everything starts to unfold for you. And that's going to be like a really big affirmation going forward. The trust in yourself is what you need to do. So now I'm going to pull for what traits you're going to be developing now that you have, or are going to be releasing these ones with this working. So what new characteristics will Kiran be developing following this full moon? What new traits will she be developing? You will be healing your inner wounded child. It's getting you back on the road for your work. Absolutely. Healing the inner child wound is going to be healing the root of, I hate the word desperation, loneliness. Tired of always being the one to handle everything, especially emotionally for you is what it's feeling like. Like you're tired of carrying the feelings. You want somebody to unload your love on that can reciprocate it back. You've been giving that oxygen out and nobody's passed you the tank. It's like being at the hookah and everybody keeps passing it around you. You want to hit it too. So you're getting more into your work, mediator, mentor. You're really going to take a deep dive into that, especially with renewed purpose. Once you get in touch with this uncomfortable time of going through your inner child wounds. But then at the end of that, damsel, the lover. This is not somebody who is relying on to anybody else, but somebody who's open to love, ready for it, but also ready to shoot down anybody who ain't it. Because this says the shadow attribute is waiting for a knight. The positive traits are inspiring you to rely on yourself, drawing in love based upon the love that you give out, but the love that you also intend to receive. You have a hard time with a cutoff point. Like you've been dealing with incubus dudes. No judgment, girl, because baby, suck you bust. No, like they out here, they're in these streets. So I'm gonna pull now for where you are being guided following this. What's the next stop? And then what you need for self-care to just ease you through this uncomfortable transition. Because anytime we have to dig through our own shadow, it's extremely painful. But man, believer, imagine dragons, the pain, the ability to transmute that pain, to take coal and turn it into diamond is done by fire. This is the fire being lit under your ass. So where is Kiran being routed now? Where is she being routed following this decision? I'm so excited. That's what just made me feel like I am so excited. Just shuffling about where you're headed. So there's some sort of house that you wanted. It's like the home you've always dreamed of, right? But it's an encouraging relationship, an encouraging foundation. This home that you've already always wanted, it makes me feel like it has something to do with that root again. A positive base for self. Cleaning house because you were stuck. So, girl, you're actually about to physically clean your house. You might move. You might move. But this feels like you getting rid of old stuff. You might have stuff from like old exes around, maybe outfits or stuff that you got for them, gifts that you still keep, memories that you just like, all that has got to go. This is a new chapter that you're being routed to, period, where you're going to get a different tone of people. I'm going to elaborate on that encouragement one as I am being guided. I'm actually going to do that with my romance angel deck because it feels love oriented. That encouragement thing. So, kind of clarification on this encouragement. Your babies are going to be helping you through this. And that makes sense because look, it's encouragement. And then it's like a mama and a baby, but then children. So your children are going to be carrying you through this. They're going to be actually helping you with your inner child and any issues you have with unrequited love, not receiving what you give back. That's the theme. That's the test. Can you recognize it when it comes your way? Can you say no? Can you let go of any traits of codependency or control issues in relationships? This is about your relationship with source. They want you to trust. You were very calculated is what I'm getting. I don't want to say know it all, but that's what this is feeling like. Your guides are a bit aggressive. Like, did you have a aggressive female family member, somebody who was really like stickler, stoic, like this is what you do as a woman, like this is what you like, is the feeling I'm getting. But like she's feeling like you're not recognizing your own strength, is what I'm getting here. Not recognizing your own strength. So it's a childhood thing. Like at some point during childhood, there was someone who made you feel like you couldn't do things on your own. Some event that made you feel like you couldn't do things on your own. You being around your children, just kicking it, you're gonna start to be triggered. Remembering parts of yourself that you sort of forgot, because that's where the healing needs to take place. These relationship cycles have been going on since your first North Node return as a part of the karmic cycles. And that's why you've been going through it twice, because it was a really hard lesson for you to learn you over others if they're not treating you right. You've learned how to put yourself aside a lot. So what does she need to focus on for self-care at this time? What does she need to focus on for self-care at this time? Hot tub, baby. You need to sing. Has to do with your throat chakra. So singing is just clearing it, just getting it out, but also getting out the emotion. Pick songs that resonate with how you feel because you need to get that gunk, the gunk out. Connect with Earth and then read. But you are like reading things to fill your mind with positivity so that the thoughts that you already have won't keep recycling. Self-help book comes up. Positive reinforcement, affirmations. But also you need a makeover, beauty ritual. You need to like just look different for yourself. This is about revitalizing your energy, clearing out the old energy, grounding yourself into a new paradigm. And I know you understand what that means, so I'm excited. You asked for something. The person that you were with was not willing to give that to you. So you might have had this idea up in your head, and you see I put the cards down, right? Because I'm getting something. I'm getting. So you may have had an idea of who he was, what you wanted with him, but what your squad saw on the other side, his intentions, his actions, just the energy, what they could see down the line was not it for you. If you could see what they see, you would have known it was not it for you too. So although this is uncomfortable, it is in alignment with the things that you have been manifesting, the things you have been crying out for, consciously and unconsciously. You're going to get sent somebody who will fulfill that, but you had to be willing to let go based upon your own intuition, your own knowing that this is not going to be it. Because they couldn't make the decision for you because you keep going back. That's why it had to be your choice. Anytime they do something to make y'all break up or to make stuff go awry for you to have time to see that he's not the one for you, it wasn't working. This was a big final for you. So, sis, good things are coming. Dark night right now, but Breaking Dawn, Twilight, part 1 and 2 coming up. I fucking love that series.